Got a haircut. Back in the red chair, the rocker. Let me tell you a story. I must have been about 13 at the time. I grew up in southern Sydney, so I was at Southgate Shopping Centre. Standing out the front on my skateboard with all my mates, hanging out. This guy comes running past. Must have been about 40 or something from memory. Shitting himself. Absolutely bricking it. The bank, the robber, the gun, the... He was pitch white and he couldn't hardly even run. He was like falling over running. He's trying to get out of there. And we're like, how about this dude? And this guy comes out of the front doors at Southgate there. The whole sort of area's changed now, but he was running out. He had a yellow hat on, sunglasses. He had a gun in this hand and a bag of money in the other. And he ran out the front doors and he sort of didn't really know where he was going. He looked lost. And he ended up running left, and he ran straight past. They'd ripped off an armour guard from the bank. They've robbed the bank. Run straight past the armour guard, who was like that. His mates were inside. He was leaning against the armour guard truck, smoking a cigarette, and he ran straight past him. We were about like 20 metres, no, maybe about 30 metres away, 25 metres away. We're like, oh. It all happened this whole thing happened in about 10 seconds, whatever. Ran straight past the armour guard. The armour guard's like, chucked his ciggy. He's like, freeze, hold it right there, or whatever he said. This guy's turned around and go, bang, 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 shot 3 times. Missed everything, but like bullets whizzing around where we were standing. The armour guard, I don't know whether he was just lucky or whether he was the best shot ever, but he shot him in the shoulder. And he kept running and he spun around again and shot him, let off the other 3 bullets in his gun, this bank robber dude. And the armour guard just let one off again, shot him in the hand that he had the gun in. The gun goes tinkle, tinkle, tinkle. He tried to keep running. The armour guard chased after him and he was hammered. And then we chased after him and I just remember, it was only probably 5 seconds that he was laying in the gutter for, by the time we got there. And there was blood, pouring into the gutter. And the armour guard had his knee on the back of his head and his head was on the asphalt like that in the car park. He's going, all right, you fucking got me, get off me, fuck, all right, sir. I just remember we were standing right there looking at this bloke with blood pouring out of him that just robbed a bank, that just got caught. And I just remember thinking, fuck, you can fuck your life up, can't you? You fucked up, didn't you, big guy? Wow, pivotal moment in that guy's life. And then the cops came and the ambulance came at about the same time. They just picked him up and just took him. It must be protocol or whatever to just get him out of there. And it turns out that there was 3 of them that robbed the bank and 2 of them had come out like the loading dock exit, the one they take the trolleys in or whatever, with the flappy doors. They'd run out that way. He kept running. That's why he went out the front and was looking around. He lost his mates. And that's what happened. Anyway, the point of the story is some people are too far gone. Some people are going to make some very, very, very bad decisions. Very bad decisions that affect their life greatly, and we cannot be responsible for them. They've been doing it for many thousands of years, and they'll continue to do it. And it's sad, and especially when we love them, but we've got to let those people go. The rest of the people, we fight to stand together. We fight for each other. We have to. We don't have the luxury of not. Humanity must stand together, particularly in the face of tyranny. And as tiring as it is, we've got to love each other. Even when I was at a gathering, let's just call it, on the weekend. I was talking to a guy who I know well. He's a relative's friend, husband, and we always sort of, magnate together, whatever the word is, find each other in the parties. He's a good guy, and so I don't know how it came about. I certainly wouldn't talk to anybody else at that party about all of this stuff that's been going on in the last 3 years and the agendas that bind it together, but this guy I would have, and it came about, and I just gave it a good shot. I probably must have had about 10 minutes, and I was talking about came up about COVID, and I was talking to him about the average age of death and the vaccinations, and we talked about the Great Reset and the agendas, 21s and 30s, and the financial hardships that's coming, and he asked me about Russia, and I was talking about the censored, and half of him was listening. The other half, absolute brick wall. Nobody home at all. Just arms crossed, just looking at you, just poo-pooing like you crazy conspiracy theorists. But there is a part of these people that are listening. I was talking about the one world government and the who's being owned by Bill Gates and the fact that they can kick your door in and take your kids, and the UN and the IMF and all of it, and gave it to him all. And I just lost him at the end. He just couldn't. He said to me, Brady, I love you, mate, but honestly, like, so all of them are in on it, are they? And I'm like, yeah, they all came out of the WEF. Anyway, weird feeling. I haven't had one of those conversations for a very long time. Weird feeling. You feel like you're sitting on a pile of gold, trying to give it to people, and they're like, that's fool's gold, idiot. You're like, no, it's real gold. You need to listen to what I'm saying. You got to understand. Brady, I love you, mate, but please, that's fool's gold. Like, no, it's real gold. Take it. Have it. All right, I'll take it, but then they just chuck it. You're like, no. Like, it's the most weirdest, frustratingest feelings. You're like, it's not even up for debate what I said to that guy. It's cold, hard facts. It's not even theories. It's not even opinions. It's cold, hard facts. And he's done thousands of hours of research. He's watching the news. It's owned by the very people that got the most to gain from lying to us, done no research, but Brady, you're a cute kid, mate. I love you, but hello. Oh my God, hello. I don't think he said it like that, but it's a weird feeling. But I walked away from that grateful. I haven't had a conversation like that for a while. I used to find them quite tiring, but I walked away from that grateful. It was buoying, because that's all we got. We've got to keep having these conversations. That's our ammunition. We are soldiers. That's the ammunition. We don't have the numbers yet. We're building an army. We have to keep people trying to wake people up without trying to wake them up, because too much pressure forces them into the other camp. We have to keep having these conversations. We have to read the moment. Have to read the moment. Can't just say, I wouldn't have said that to anybody else there, but when the time comes, even if it's just plant a little seed, like I don't know about this whole last 3 years, like it just seems a bit weird to me, like all of this and then that, and then if you get a little nibble, then tell them a bit more. If you don't, and you do, like you've got to read the temper of the times, you've got to read the person. Some people are way too far gone, those sheep are gone. The fence sitters are our market, those people who either knew what was going on, and did it anyway, or got pressured into it, or waited till the last minute, and just had to do it because they got mortgages and families, and we can't look down on those people. They might not have known as much as us, they might not be as strong as us. We need those people. We don't have the luxury of ruling those people out. We need them, and they're our market. We've got to keep talking to them, we've got to feel it out. And the best way to do that is just, I just sometimes, because you can get caught up in it. Sometimes you get caught up in their energy. You try to talk a bit faster and you breathe a bit faster. Because you're trying to keep up with them, their poo-pooing. Got to slow it down. Just imagine yourself made of stone, made of rock. You're 100 tons. You're totally earth. Every moment, every movement, every action, every thought, every word is just calculated. And slow it down. Just make sure you stand staunch in your personal truth and deliver it like that. Can't get revved up. Can't get ampy. Can't run on fumes, because then you're buying into their energy. You're buying into their fear. It's hard not to do it. Just imagine yourself as stone. And you've got to understand what your soldier fuel is. If you've really crystallised exactly why you're doing what you're doing, whether it be your kids, whether it be your intuition is telling you, whether it's just what right, it's not that hard to qualify. But once you've established that, then that's your soldier platform and that's your soldier fuel. That can't be moved. You're 100 tons of rock sitting on top of that. And you've got to be a little, and I'm not talking about being cold, you've got to be a stone with a heart of gold. You've got to care. Of course you do. That's why you're doing it. Otherwise you'd just fuck off, or you just wouldn't care like them. You've got to have a heart of gold, but you've also got to be able to let people go. So we can't wait. Some people say that we've got to wait for the slowest people in society. We've got to wait for the weakest people. That's not how the world's ever worked. Any of those tribal communities, when the old person got too old and that was slowing the tribe down from walking or moving to the next camp or whatever, then they would just sit down and everyone would cry and pull their hair out and keep and mourn for weeks. But they'd keep walking. We can't sacrifice ourselves for the elderly. I mean, I'm sorry. Can't sacrifice ourselves for the people who are absorbing too much time and effort and money in society. And there's obviously a line, but we can't wait for the slowest people. Society can't wait for the slowest person in it. Otherwise, we're all gone. We're all sacrificed. And those old tribal communities and indigenous communities knew that, and nothing's changed. We're still tribal. We're still simple animals. As much as you think you're important, as much as your technology in your Mercedes thinks for you, you're still just an animal. And you're still very unimportant. We all are. And that gives us license. That doesn't detract. Anyway, we're building numbers. Conversations, the most important thing you can do. In the line at the bank, whatever. The young girl at the cafe, whatever. Just plant seeds, read the moment. We've got to keep going. We've all got a part to play in this, and that's the biggest one for all of us. Anyway, just wanted to say hello, tell you I love you, and I'll see you soon.